On this week's Nonsensible podcast.
Guess what? DJ Fenner.
DJ Fenner. Nice.
Back in the day, 20 years.
I was like, whoa, isn't this your girlfriend? I was like, whoa, what? Ew.
But this Murphy is real. That shit is real for boys too. It's
He got me so good. I can't hate on that.
we were like, he hypnotized us.
And the guy was still there. So I went up to him and was like, oh, you still didn't go home, huh?
This is Nonsensible.
All right, this is Nonsensible with Sam.
And Saul Goode, what's up?
How you doing? Back again.
Back again.
Why y'all wearing the same thing?
Oh my God.
man.
Hey,
I've only got one set of clothes.
you didn't change either.
Yeah. Oh my God. Because we were at G2's Sujib, where you don't
The night
shower,
before.
you just keep these things. I took my shirt off the second the podcast ended. And
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I see rosemary in here. What'd
what'd you
are
get?
drinking?
A bubble tea?
This is just iced tea from a cafe downstairs.
It looks very sophisticated.
Yeah, I know. It was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
It was only $4.50 or 4,500원.
Nice.
Do you guys still do that? I still go by American dollars.
Yeah.
I think in American dollars, but I tend nowadays to say the money more in Korean.
But do you
So even
think
though
with
I'm
the
thinking
conversion rate, or are you just
Yeah, I think like of something that's like 4,500원 as like $4.
Uh-huh.
But I don't ever say $4 anymore because it makes me feel like I'm
if it's
an
3만 원,
imperialist bastard.
if it's 3만 원, I just say $30. That's just so easy for me.
I think it's
different.
environmental. It depends on who I'm talking with.
Okay,
Like
true.
if I'm talking with people that don't really understand Korean money, I'll try and put it into US dollars.
Mhm.
But otherwise, it's just it's just one.
Pounds is different as well. So I've had to kind of like move towards dollars, like understand dollars. And then, so yeah, I talk about it in dollars, but actually it's kind of,
Wait,
it's all
Ollie,
messed up.
where are you from?
England.
What country? England. Okay.
Yeah.
I still
Pounds,
don't know
man.
the accents that well.
Yeah.
Like even in
Oh, wow.
the Korean dialect still confuses me too.
Well,
Oldie's got a super strong accent though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, English. But then I feel like I just got confused with your accent and his accent because
Good eye, mate. We're all been
Good eye,
talking in
mate.
Australian.
Oh, nice.
I like to chase the kangaroos, man.
Kangaroos, have a cup of tennis, some
Hello.
long necks.
Put some brew chops on the
I'm
bar.
Harry Potter. Can I have
Would
a
you like
glass
some tea?
of water, please?
No, we don't drink water. We drink tea.
Fish and chips.
Cheerios, mate.
Cod and chips.
Cheerios.
Cheerio. The Cheerios. That's breakfast cereals. That's like a
Cheerios,
rapping
mate.
game right there.
He's just fucking with you now.
I like it.
So what's been happening in the last week?
What's been popping? Just music, same old. Yeah.
Same old surchip, pocha, drinking.
Yeah.
Like I
Nice.
mentioned last week
Studio.
that, dude, my body's shutting down.
What's the Yangyang life like for you? Like
Whoa.
if you're splitting your life between Seoul and Yangyang now, what?
from what I could tell, Yangyang is kind of like the explore page on Instagram if you click on a bikini model. Because that's where all those people go to take those photos in front of the sign at Surfy Beach.
So in Korean word, there's a word called halyang, which is like you just basically you're a free spirit and you just live life, just day by day, and that's what it is in Yangyang. It's very culturally like it's different. It's their own community, and it's very free, and everybody's very They're not.
But that's not going to last for long.
Tight.
Now that like everyone's moving in
It's
there, it's
very
like the main
gentrified
holiday
now,
district.
There's
It's going to change,
club
man.
there now.
Yeah, I played there
guys
last
like
week.
Yeah, he DJ'd there last week, right?
Corona. I'm just like
It's called
Oh,
Corona?
there's two.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I went there for 30 seconds. I was like, nope. And I just went right back downstairs. It's like, I couldn't
A
handle
lot of
it.
people.
Not enough ventilation.
Yeah, no, not at all. But people are pretty freaking wild. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Because people want to
Really?
party,
Yeah.
man.
They want to party, yeah.
All that pent up energy.
People want to hug and kiss.
But there's a huge culture out there that's just seems like it's evolving as well. Like there's some I've seen places that have like skate balls and skate pipes for
My friend
skaters.
my friend twisted his ankle and broke his leg. Like Yamada, you know Yamada?
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke his leg
You
on
probably know
that skate park.
Yamada.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I went to see him last night. He's like,
There's two types of people, like the surfers and the skaters. That's like, I guess you could consider them locals because they live there. They're all about that life. And then there's these other side of people like tourists that come there to just,
Take
just
pictures.
have a holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Dude,
That's a holiday.
it's crazy because they have guest houses, right? So they have like 200, 300 like guests, every day at this, at these busy times. And they have this like package where they serve like gogi barbecues, and everybody sits like at random tables, like all the girls and the guys are mixed, and there's an MC that does like like recreational stuff. I was like, I was like, oh, like Soto's Hoge, like introduce yourself, like
like red light, green light. Shit.
And then if the connection's there, I guess some guys or girls they match up, they go have fun and stuff, and I'm just on the side, just like
it's
really difficult.
It's like real life Tinder.
I'm like a proud dad. I'm like, all right, go get you some.
It's like real life Tinder. That same thing that we were talking about privacy in the last episode. There's this woman who asked Tinder to provide the information that they had collected from her just over her like time using Tinder. And they originally said, no, that's our private intellectual property. And she's like, no, it's not. It's about me, blah, blah. And she fought to get it. Tinder sent her a $500 500-page like pamphlet document about her. Yikes. Like about her, what kind of sex she's into, just based on like conversations you had, what time of the year she's the loneliest.
Whoa.
What kind of men she can date.
That's scary. That's some CIA stuff.
Yeah. They said that they've gone back on it now and they don't do this. But if you're like kind of like not the cream of the crop as far as like a mating partner goes, if you're going through Tinder, you don't get like the same recommendations for matches that like someone as hunky as Ollie Fenner might get. you're gonna see someone who might like who's like fits more, like is more in your league, and they had like a reason for that. Wow. Like if you get swiped, I've never used Tinder, so I don't know if it's left or right. But if you get swiped against by too many hot people, they like drop you down a bracket.
Oh man!
And so this woman like found out about that and like wrote this whole book about it and showed like what Tinder knows about her and all this crazy stuff.
That kind of breaks my heart.
That's why.
Yeah.
Like because you're like they're only showing you
ugly. Like because you get judged. You're like, ugly.
We're getting everything in life we're getting judged.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's where technology's taken us.
Yeah.
If someone said 2020 was just going to be a Black Mirror episode, who would have believed them?
Image based.
It just seems like the direction that the world is going is like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
You look at that. There's that photo of Mark Zuckerberg with his laptop behind him, and even he's got tape over the camera of his laptop.
Really?
Because he knows what people are getting access to. Someone was saying the other day, they were on Facebook and they were talking about a dog barking or something, and all of a sudden they get on, they had their phone in their pocket talking about a dog barking, and they get on Facebook and it was talking about how you can train your dog to stop barking.
I get that
randomly.
as well. Yeah.
So it's picking up conversations that people are having.
Or dog barks.
Yeah.
In front of the phone.
All right, so you're like, shut the fuck up, Timmy!
That's probably what it was essentially like that.
Yeah.
But it's picking this information from your microphone and your phone or on your laptop, and it's processing that and kind of it's almost setting it towards what you want right now in life.
Yeah.
That to me is scary as shit.
Scary.
and if Tinder has that many, imagine what Facebook and all that shit.
Exactly.
It's like Terminator. This is what's like we're going to have robots soon roaming around on the streets.
AI is the next.
Do you guys put like on the laptop computer on the webcam camera? I put a little paper sticker just so I don't get spied on.
No, he just said that Mark Zuckerberg.
No, I'm like, so if
no.
people are spying on me, I'm like, take a selfie. Come on. Last week's.
And they probably are.
Do 87 push-ups in front of the computer.
Just in case.
It's like, I don't need a camera. I just need a computer with a fucking...
Who's watching me?
Who's watching me?
But it's a scary situation when so much personal information is out there in this cloud
Yeah,
that
for sure.
we don't know who has access to any of it. I mean, we've heard about different websites being hacked where you've been a member of and they've got your credit card details. They've got, here your social security number.
Yeah.
People can do so much with that now.
You got to delete. You got to always go incognito mode and delete your cookies every now and then.
Cookies.
A very good friend of mine.
Cache.
A very good friend of mine in Australia, every 6 to 12 months, he goes and gets a new credit card. He cancels all the ones he had and re-puts them into his websites that he uses because of that.
Wow.
And they say you're supposed to like have a different password for every website. How the fuck do you remember?
There's
all those?
password manager.
I can't remember what they are at the moment.
Mine's the same for everything,
Yeah.
Mine's pretty much the same, and I keep forgetting it, and I have to redo it.
Yeah, for sure. I have to write it down on my iPhone notes now.
Yeah.
So if anyone
I'm
gets
even
into your
scared-
iPhone, you're fucked.
But
Yeah,
I'm
I'm pretty
scared.
fucked, yeah.
I'm scared to do that too. So I do like screenshots of a piece of paper where I write it in
right.
shitty handwriting.
Dude, what a paranoid ass fucking time that we live in. Jesus.
It's scary. I mean,
Let's all move to fucking Yangyang and forget about it all.
Let's just go surf.
Let's get the hell out of here.
but having said that, how important is privacy? Like, where is the line we draw in the sand and say?
It depends who's using it. Like you were saying about the adverts earlier, I actually got some, I was talking about shoes and then boom, some shoe advert comes up on my Instagram
And you
page.
can't.
And I actually looked at the shoes. I'm like, I'm going to buy those.
Yeah.
And I bought them and I like them.
Really?
So like, yeah. So if it's used right, it's got huge potential. But like, it depends who's using it, who's in control of the power.
I definitely bought a lot of products on Instagram. Like,
On
the Instagram advertisements. I was like, whoa, you could clean your bathroom in 5 seconds. And those shit never works. Never works. Never. I tried it and it was like, what's this?
You're like one of those like
It's not
old people
clean,
who watches Home Shopping Network.
Yeah, exactly. And I bought one of those brushes for the cats. And I'm like trying to brush. I'm like, fuck, there's more hair everywhere.
That's what being a rapper will do to you, right? Like you don't have a regular schedule like everyone else. Like you watch the same TV that Ajumas.
Yeah.
I'll watch it, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you wake up at like 1 p.m. like hungover and shit. You're
dude.
watching Home Shopping Network with them.
I have like 5 laptop mouses for no reason. Like I just buy whatever it is. I'm just like, oh, cool. So much gadgets, unnecessary gadgets.
I go that far, but yeah. not quite that far, but yeah.
I was like, just because I bought a pair of
But to pair of shoes, it's like aesthetics. They look good.
and ones. Just because Ali bought a pair of and ones off of Instagram.
I don't know what the brand was, but they look good. Design.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's never like a Nike shoe.
No.
Yeah, no.
It's always like a Jordan with like 3 legs.
Nice instead of nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, with those Instagram ads, they pop up all the time, but they're never from, I don't, reputable's not the word, but they're not from big brands whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder if, with the privacy issue, is it almost accessible to anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sell it to massive.
Wait, sold, yeah.
Yeah.
They just like bag up all the information. It all goes up into the cloud, and there's just giant companies who sell that information.
Honestly, I mean, I don't mind about my personal information. I don't really have anything.
Give me a card detail.
Well, that's what. That's true. Maybe the reason I don't give as much of a fuck as I used to is because like I go on this podcast and talk about shitting my pants. You know what I mean? So like, what do I care if someone knows? Like,
I mean, if somebody wants to see my Facebook update from 2010, go ahead. It's the most ridiculous stuff. I just quote Lil Wayne.
Yeah, and you rap about it. And you probably rapped about how crazy you are. And shit.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're in our line of work, it's like not as much of a problem, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any nude photos. I mean, even if there is, I don't mind.
Yeah. The ladies at Yangyang want to see
Yeah,
it.
they do. Yeah, exactly. Let me do some pull-ups real quick.
Like,
oh, speaking of which, I bought the poll from an Instagram ad that I did for my
There you go.
See, that's the one thing that I really like.
That
Yeah.
actually,
and
that shit's about to
that's working
break.
for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That
going to
works
break
for
you
you.
off and like knock you out or something.
Because, while I was on that diet and I was working out, I was looking at, on the Explorer, I was looking at like routine, like workout routines.
Mhm.
And so I just see the poll and it's just like, whoa, nice. Just buy it.
Now,
Men's
that's a good
supplements and
purchase.
stuff. It's going to turn into...
Yeah, that's a purchase that's worked.
Yeah.
I mean, what would, if you put it into percentiles, what would it be? 10%
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. So like
in terms of purchases?
1 out of 10 times. Yeah. 10 times. Yeah.
And
I
you,
heard 10%.
damn, that's crazy. You cop
Yeah.
that much?
Huh?
You cop that much on Instagram?
I used to when I was super bored. Because that's what, all right, about the bathroom cleaning too. Like that's when I first moved. So I was looking at a lot of like house appliances and stuff. So they would show me like how to like, one of those powder things that you put it down the sink. That'll like unclog.
Drano.
Yeah, the drain. Yeah, that unclogs. So I bought those. Doesn't work.
You can just go with the trusty, what is it called? Drano.
Crusty
Yeah.
train.
The crusty
Just go with the crusty.
Drano or whatever.
It's
it's
a
called.
Drano. Yeah.
They always, the ones that you get at the Pyeongchang, or not
Mr.
Pyeongchang.
Muscle.
Nah, man,
Mark-
but the advertisement, man, that was pretty persuasive at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their whole job is to
yeah,
suck you in.
Yeah. I felt like a fucking dumb asshole.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe I got persuaded by that.
10% of the time.
Yeah, I don't do that no more. I don't do that now.
That accidentally, meaning to say trusty and accidentally saying crusty, sounds. I don't know why this made me think of this, but it sounds like something like Ren and Stimpy would say.
Crossing the farm?
Crusty,
Yeah, no, like
crusty
they're like
player.
commercials that Ren and Stimpy are watching on TV.
Crusty.
Like, this is
Crusty.
your crust. Yeah, your crust, a crusty straw.
In terms of privacy, though, I don't know what it's like in the UK. In Australia, we don't have social security numbers.
I did not know that. That's
In
crazy.
Korea, you have the equivalent of a social security number. You have that in the States. Now, is that something?
What is that? You're like, 등록증번호? That's
So you have your.
I don't think that's the same as the equivalent of a social security number.
Well, in terms of you use that number as a piece of identification.
Yeah.
Whereas in Australia, we don't have a number that you can
Do you not
have to one person, with the exception of your passport.
national insurance number? Do you have one of those? We have a national insurance number, but the cards have been...
a Medicare number, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit, but you're generally not asked to put it into websites, or you're not asked to put it down on paperwork.
I mean, but that's the same for social security number too. We don't.
But social
put it
security number is a little bit, way more like top
It's
secret.
more secure. Yeah.
You don't want motherfuckers knowing your social security number.
And it's the same thing, like I said before, like no motherfucker would want my social security number. like go ahead, bro. Like there's nothing there. Yeah, I have no credit. Like,
Go ahead, pretend being me. You're not gonna like it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You take it.
You'll be doing push-ups in Yangyang.
You're like, take my identity. Your life's not getting any better.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead. If anything, you can make it better for me.
Go ahead, take my fucking identity. Fix this shit up.
That actually sounds like a potential industry.
Or like a TV show, right?
Like to fix people's identity. If you pay them a certain amount of money and they
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just
jack your credit up for you. And
do it out of the goodness of your heart. Like, be like, we're going to make this person's
A
life
reality
better.
show.
And then film their reaction.
It's like a home makeover, and there's like some businessman that goes down to Yangyang, and he's doing pull-ups and shit at the sword gym. And he has to go like work at Samsung.
And I just made it all of a sudden.
Yeah, and you're like jumping on the desk and fucking getting fucked up.
This is not why we brought you in here for.
Now that you say it like that, it doesn't sound all that exciting, actually. You go from the life in Yangyang to being stuck in a corporation.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what would make the reality show interesting. It's like home makeover.
Who would do that though?
Yeah. And you give them your credit card, their ID and all that.
You'd have to do it without getting their permission.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to do it in the down low. So that would be like really, like the whole privacy issue is you're getting deepper in the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We won't tell you about it. One day we're going to kidnap you and we're going to take you to work.
Well, that sounds actually pretty possible. Like for people to just steal your identity and just kidnap you out of nowhere.
Yeah, or they don't even have to kidnap you. They just steal your identity if they look somewhat similar to you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That kind of stuff scares me though. Like to have someone take my identity and like, I guess just get bank loans and do all this kind of shit that means that I'm responsible for that. Yeah. Like from a bank's perspective, they don't care who took the loan out.
Yeah.
They're like, someone's responsible for this. You need to pay this bank loan back.
I went to try to get internet at my house when I moved into my new place. And I had this outstanding bill of like $1,000 with KT. Somebody took used my ID to start an internet account in Korea.
You were a victim of identity theft?
And it had to be one of my homies or somebody who like I knew who could like take a picture of my ID card. Because you have to like send a picture of your ID card and stuff.
That's scary.
Yeah, man. And it's like it was a house, an address that I never lived in and all this stuff. And
really?
Yeah.
Probably someone you worked for before. You know, like here's some work. You send me your bank details and your ID. All right, got your ID and I'm
Well, it's the same with phones. I've heard of people getting a phone bought in someone else's name.
Yeah.
And then just racking up bills, which means the person whose names it's under, they can't do anything about it because this other person's using the phone. They can't cancel it as well. Like you have to it becomes really, really tricky. The way that they've set up systems now, it's not just, you can't just call up and say, I want you to cancel this for me. I want you to change this for me. I had to, like even the other day here in Korea, the way my name was originally spelled on all the documents, there was an apostrophe, like what do you call it? An apostrophe? Not an apostrophe. It's like that dash between two letters in my name, a hyphen. Because my name's so long, they put a hyphen in between two letters. But there are certain apps that won't accept the hyphen when I put it in, so I can't use.
That's
I
I know
know
exactly
that
what
with KB
you're
Bank
talking
as well.
about because
Yeah.
my first name is G and then space TWO.
and they don't believe that it's a
and-
one letter
exactly.
name.
In some apps, like it gives you an error, like, oh, your name can't be more than it has to be more than one letter. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, but that's my name.
That's
Like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
yeah.
Everything digital. All of a sudden they're like, no, that's unacceptable. It won't take your details. And I rang up and I said, is there some way that you can change the name that my phone's registered under? Because this was with like my phone carrier. And they're like, no. I'm like, what? You can't change.
Don't you know who the fuck I am?
And they're like,
I'm William and Bentley's dad.
they're like, when you registered, this is the name you used. This is the name you stuck with.
Yeah.
So I have a hyphen in my name for the rest of my life here.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude. And I feel like for foreigners here, some companies are definitely not used to like having like, specific rules and regulations set up just for us. So they, most of the time, like whenever I go to the bank or something, they're like, this has never happened.
Yeah.
So they don't know. I'm just like, well, what am I supposed to do? They're like,
They don't know either.
They don't know. I'm
They
just
don't
like,
know.
what? Yeah, so I've had those situations before.
It's like Louis C.K. The doctor's like, he goes to the doctor because his leg is hurting. It's like, what do I do, doctor? He's like, it's just shitty now. It's just how it is now. I mean, you can do some
I
stretches.
remember the episode.
It's
I
just
remember
gonna be
it was like,
shitty.
it's like, what about my back? It's like, well, you're old.
Yeah. It just sucks now. It's just how it is.
Yeah. Have you ever had like a fake Instagram or Facebook page? Like someone stealing your, names and stuff?
Whoa.
I've had like at one stage, like every second day, I'd be going in and searching because people would be using my photo and my name.
Yeah.
And they'd be using my photos and I'd report them to Instagram like every second
But that's how
day.
you get the blue star, right?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, like that's how you get the blue star with all the
Yeah.
fake accounts. You report
Really?
them and then they say, this is the official.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That's how I think that
That's
maybe
part
that's how
of the
they
process,
find
though.
out that
Yeah,
you're someone worth.
I didn't realize, like, there's an application that you can fill out on Instagram, like, to get the blue tick.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was any.
Does that application work? Oh, you
It
mean
never-
it's actually inside Instagram?
Inside Instagram, there is an application that you can apply for. It didn't work
okay.
for me. I
Yeah.
had to go through some other people who know people at Instagram to get it
Yeah.
to work. But yeah, I didn't even think that something like that could have.
Yeah, it's part
Had
of
an
the
effect on
criteria
that.
for normal people.
I've had some, girlfriends in the past that had their pictures stolen and they would use it for, like one of those
Yeah.
Promotion. or
Yeah,
something.
like
Mm.
girls
Girly
like,
bars
for
and-
sex and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, isn't this your girlfriend? I was like, whoa, what? Yeah, so like we had to report it and stuff. So it was
So
really
you called
sketchy.
her up and
yeah.
like, what the hell are you
What
doing?
the fuck?
And she plays like,
I've
no,
been
it
lied
wasn't
to
me.
this
It
whole
wasn't
time.
me. Yeah.
No, but so there's definitely been cases where a couple of my friends, like, I don't really understand the psychology behind stealing somebody's like
No.
face and then just pretending it's you. It's just
Well,
weird.
Yeah.
Isn't there a name? Isn't it catfishing or?
Yeah, when you
Catfishing,
fake like you're hot, but
yeah,
you're
that's true. Yeah,
But that's all. It's a similar thing. They take that identity and pretend that you're somebody else. Now, I don't know if that's just psychological games that people are playing, or they're doing it to try and get money out.
I think
of
they're just trying to get
people.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or
like,
just bored.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck someone up
Yeah.
today.
Or they just want people to like chat with them,
yeah,
thinking that they're that person.
or pretending to be that 30-year-old Charles. Just like,
Yeah.
hey,
It's Charles.
Hey, pink t-shirt,
It's
anyone?
Charles.
Charles is using G2's girlfriend's photo to get back to find me again.
Crazy. Yo, and then
Creepy,
even
creepy.
voice phishing is very popular. and
voice
it
phishing
is
is
a
huge, yeah.
problem here in Korea.
the one that's been popping up recently has been on Instagram, and you'll get a message saying that there's a copyright infringement on one of the photos that you've put up.
I've had a couple of DMs, yeah.
And it's like, if you don't get back to us in the next 24 hours, we're going to delete your
Yeah.
profile.
Mm.
And I've had probably half a dozen of those in the last
Yeah.
2 months.
Whoa.
There's been a few people, and like there's been cases of some famous people who went through and clicked on it, and then they've then had their
Oh.
profile stolen.
Wow.
Like
That's
they've been
crazy.
hacked.
Sketch, man.
That
Sketch.
sucks.
Yeah. But there's nothing official. So it's just like they've named it like Instagram help.
Yeah.
And there's no blue tick. There's nothing. It's just if you read through it, something just doesn't seem right. You look at your photos and you're like, there's nothing here that could have a copyright infringement on it. I don't know what they're talking
It's
about.
natural selection. It's these famous people who don't deserve to, deserve to be famous.
But it's
fucking
like
fall for that dumbass shit.
But sometimes I would get emails kind of like that, but the emails would be like at yahoo.com. So it's like,
nobody I need to listen to is still got a Yahoo.
Yahoo? Come on,
like
come on, dude. You gotta try to live even harder.
AOL, Yahoo, Hotmail, like all the ones that people don't use anymore.
School.
That might actually be kind of fly though to have a Hotmail again.
I've still got mine.
Bring that
I
back.
still have one.
I still got one.
I have an email just so like I don't have to like use my actual one. You know what I mean? Like whenever I'm trying to like get promotion or like discounts.
Daddy Fat Sacks 86.
Like Urban Outfitters. Like if you sign up today, you get 20% off. So I just give them this email.
It becomes your junk mail.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your Hotmail account?
Oh, it's Nanchituda. I made that. I made that in high school, so it's for challenge.
What was your high school email address?
Sam_Ham.
Sam Ham.
Yeah. Nice.
Did you have
simple?
Guess what? DJ Fenner.
DJ Fenner. Nice.
Back in the day, 20 years.
What
did you get?
Daddy Fat Sacks.
Daddy
Fat
Wow.
Sacks.
Daddy Fat Sacks something, because like a big boy from Outkast.
Fat Sacks is in S.A.
Daddy Fat Sack. Well, a big boy from Outkast. I think it had to do with the size of the drugs he was selling.
Is it fat with a PH or an F?
It was like FAT because a ton of kids in North Carolina had Daddy Fat Sacks.
Nice. No, but back to the voice phishing thing. I just want to just say this real quick. You got to be really careful because I know in some cases they would cacao like a family member and just pretend it was like a daughter or something.
They've been
like
kidnapped.
Yeah, or it's like, oh, I just got in like an accident. Like, can you just wire me like $5,000 real quick? Like I'm in a hurry. You know what I mean? And then some parents would be so worried, so they would actually just wire the money. But some cases are like they're so intricate about the whole voice phishing that it's so hard to catch them. Because once you send your money, like it's not illegal. Technically, if you dive into it, it's of course it's illegal. But you sent somebody, wire them money. They can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, and you can't get that money once it's been wired. You can't. Get it
exactly.
Back. Unless they wire it back to you, be like, sorry, do you want to send it back? It's like, yeah. Right.
It's like giving money to it's like giving money to a homeless guy for food, and then he buys drugs. You just can't be like, hey, I want my money back. Yeah. So.
My wife had an instance where she got a phone call, and the guy on the other end of the phone said it's the police, and he's like, "Has someone been using? Have you been using your bank account, such and such a bank account?" And she's like, I don't have that bank account. And he's like, are you such and such? And she's like, yeah, such and such. And then she started telling him her like ID number. And I kind of stopped her in the middle. I was sitting next to her in the car and I stopped her and I said, hang on, wait, ask this guy what his name is and what police station he's from.
Smart.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, can you please tell me what police station you're from and what your name is? He just hung up straight away.
Yeah.
So there are people out there like pretending like you've been involved. Your bank accounts have been used in fraud. So they're trying to get your bank account details. They're trying to get your identity number to steal money off you that way as well. If they can work it out, like I guess there's a way they ask for your code as well for your account. So they get into your account and can just steal money as they please.
Yeah.
So you got to be super careful if you get random phone
calls. There's some very awkward dudes out there too, because they would call and they won't be good at all.
Yeah.
So like I have them on the phone and it's just like you just go along with it. You know what I mean? Like Corona 때문에 힘드시죠? You know what I mean? Like how much loan do you want? I was like, how about 30K? They're like, wait, hold on. Let me I was just like, all right.
Hitting the keyboard.
Put them on loudspeaker and be like, listen to this.
So there's some hilarious guys because they are not good at all. And I just started cracking up and they just hang out right away.
There are some bad guys, like they just do a really shit job like that. I was on a job and the girl that was doing my hair got a phone call and she's like, she couldn't speak English very well. She's like, can you take this phone call? I'm like, sure. And he's like, yeah, hi, we're from the customs here in Incheon. And I looked at the number and the country code's like Taiwan. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
He's like,
Okay.
you need to send us like $1,000 to get these goods out of customs. And I'm like, $1,000, is that right? And I'm just like, yeah.
When I was in college, me and my roommate were really fucked up in the middle of the day. And this guy knocks on our door and we open the door and he's like a good looking dude, but he's got like this knot on his face like this. And he starts telling this story about like, he's the manager at Foot Locker. His car broke down and he just got surgery on his tooth. It was wild. He was like, I swear he was like the closest I'd ever met to a person who was like Dave Chappelle in real life. Like you're just like engaged, like hang on to every single word that this guy said. And by the end of it, like we gave him like $50 and we were like, all right, man, we'll see you. But I forget the story he told us about why he needed it. But we were like, he hypnotized us. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then the second he closed the door and we said goodbye, like we looked at each other and we were like,
What happened?
yo, look at your phone and see like who he last called. And like the number he had called didn't have the area code in it. And my phone, like you had to put the area code in if you wanted to talk to somebody. So we like realized like, fuck, he got us. Like ran out and tried to chase him. But some people are magical con
I
artists.
had an incident like that. I was shopping in uptown Dallas, and this guy, he was like, "Hey, I need money for a bus fare." And so I gave him. It wasn't much. I gave him a couple of dollars, and for some reason, I had to go like the next day or a couple of days after, and the guy was still there. So like I went up to him, and was like, "Oh, you still didn't go home, huh?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You're still."
He said, "No, I got McDonald's instead, bro."
One of the homeless dudes in Itaewon really fucks with me hard, and all the time he's asking for money. I always give it to him.
There's only one. There's only one.
And
really.
he always, if I'm on TV, like he notices it every time. He's like, "Oh, I saw you on TV." And my boy one day was like, "How do you think he keeps seeing you on TV if he doesn't have a fucking house?" He's got like a TV, and you still got to give him $1 every day.
Yeah, I heard stories about that guy as well. Like he's always begging, but actually he's like pretty minted. Apparently. Yeah, that's weird.
I gotta give respect to some of the like that story you mentioned before. There are some people out there that are just so magical with the way that they pull that story out.
Yeah.
Like it happened to me in LA. A guy's like, "Can you give me change for a 20?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he started counting out his money, and all of a sudden he just disappeared. And I'm like, he just took like my money and just bounced. And then I sat like for a minute there. I'm like, fuck, man, I just got ripped off. It was like $10 or whatever, like $20 because he asked for change for a 20. But then I sat there and I'm like, nah, actually, good on him.
Yeah,
exactly. Good for him.
If he can do that to me,
it's like
I'm like,
$300 a minute.
Kudos.
I'm like, he got me. He got me so good. I can't hate on that. I'm like, that was such
It's like a magic trick in your face. Like,
magic. Like on YouTube, there's guys that go out in public and do that magic shit.
Yeah.
He was like one of those magicians, and I fell for it.
No, what if it was an actual magician? It's like, "Can I have $20?" I give him $20. Like, poof, gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, nice. $20 well spent."
all this left is a rabbit on the floor.
At least they're performing for the money, right?
That was like a $20 magic trick.
Yeah.
There's this very famous clip in the Korean subways. There's a time to time there's a handicapped guy that crawls. You know one of those? That crawls with
let's
his
talk
legs.
about that.
Yeah, they crawl,
Why do they
right?
do that shit?
And I saw one of them like on the video.
Yeah,
Like,
explain it, 'cause a lot of people here aren't from Korea.
So in the Korean subways, there are a lot of like homeless or handicapped people. There's this one incident where this guy, he looked like he had no legs.
They
Like,
always
one leg,
pretend like
So
they don't have legs.
This guy's crawling with a bucket. With
And they always have a
change.
speaker that's like playing like mermaid music. Like,
Well, this guy
I haven't
didn't
seen
have a
them so
speaker.
much recently, though, man.
This guy didn't have a speaker, but as he was going, when the train stops, and out of nowhere, he just gets up and just walks.
Job done. Clock off.
I'm
Leg
like,
back on.
yo, that's respect too, because that's got to be a hard fucking like train
crawling.
ride.
They have like rubber, like almost like
Yeah, I saw.
insides of rubber tires, like on their knees. Like obviously, because there are some of them out there that actually don't have legs.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. Yeah.
like the person that pulled off this scam. So what they do is they put their leg in there, so it looks like they've got no legs. And then obviously he got up and walked off the train.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are people out there. I think Eddie Murphy in Trading Places, there was a similar situation. So it's like they lie on like a trolley with wheels because they don't have legs, and that's kind of their way to make money. Is by they beg, obviously.
But what's up with the music? Who started this
I'm
whole
telling
thing?
you, this
bro.
guy's a
That's how I
magician
live.
too. 'Cause at the end of the day, it's all about illusion, right?
Yeah.
This guy pulled off a illusion. And you know, when you do an illusion, you need a distraction, so you need music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
We've all
I see it as an art
But they
form.
used to sell CDs and stuff as well, innit?
Yeah.
Like, so like they're trying to sell something, music,
But
like
every time I try to
and it
ask,
attracts attention.
every time I try to ask, like, what's the origin behind this? You know what I mean? Like in America, it's like you have a fucking cup and you ask for money, right? But like in Korea, you're just like walk out of a subway thing and there's the guy with no legs with the mermaid music, and I want to know why.
I definitely
and every
think,
time you ask someone, they don't know.
I definitely think there's a crew behind it, like a.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Well, all right. One thing I want to say before we move on is, I'm not talking shit on like the real homeless people.
Of course,
We're strictly talking about those scammers and like the voice phishing people.
But we didn't even say anything bad about them. You know what I mean?
Actually, if anything, we're like complimenting them. Like, respect.
Like back in the day, there was someone told me they went to Hong Kong and saw a beggar in Hong Kong. And then all of a sudden the beggar got up from where he was sitting and jumped in a Rolls Royce. Like, but in Australia, maybe a year or two ago, there was a crew of people who were going out and begging, but they were making shitloads of coin from this.
Yeah.
And there was like a gang of them.
Yeah.
Like they'd be all through the city and they were making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a day.
You know there's an episode on The Simpsons about it.
Really?
Homer, he's short on money. It's for like Marge's anniversary gift. So he goes by the highway and pretends he's homeless, and like he ends up getting so much money that he buys Marge like a really expensive necklace.
Whoa.
So, it's just crazy. Yeah, The Simpsons predicting everything.
What's the difference between begging and panhandling then? Or is it technically the same?
I guess it depends on like the art form of it.
Well, what's panhandling?
Well, that's a term you use in America, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was just like a simile.
It's just another term for begging.
I mean, I guess panhandling has more of like you're talking about like sticking out. Yeah, you're sticking out your hand or sticking out a cup or some sort of thing
you're
for money.
You're actually
maybe?
asking for it as opposed to
okay.
putting something in
Just
place.
being
I guess begging is more like on your knees and like having your head down with your hands out.
Or maybe panhandling has something to do with performing something, like you do something.
It seemed kind of, whenever I saw people panhandling, it kind of felt like they were moving, like they weren't stationary.
Like they're doing something?
Like they were trying to walking around and asking people
like
for
knocking
money.
on doors maybe? Can you look up the definition of panhandling?
Or even just asking people for money, like walking around the neighborhood as opposed to being stationary.
Okay.
I guess it's being somewhat more forceful almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like throwing it out there and saying, give me money, as opposed to having a cup on the ground and letting people put money in the cup.
Well, begging is kind of vague anyway, isn't it? You can be begging with just a cup and not say anything, but you can also actually beg. You know, when you beg someone, please, it's the same. It's kind of the same thing under the same branch, isn't it?
I guess for some, I guess, I don't know. If you're in that circumstance, though, for some of them, sure, there's food, but also they want a place to sleep.
Yeah, that's
or they
true.
want a shower. It's not just, the money allows them so many different options.
Yeah.
And if you're an addict, you might need it to go to sleep. You know?
It's like birthdays. It's always better to get money. Just like mum's like, what do you want for your birthday? It's just like, just give me money and I'll sort it out later.
There's nothing worse when it's your birthday and your mum buys you a gift that you despise.
It's not even just your mum, like anybody.
That's true. That's true.
Well, clutter in the house. Like, I don't want that. Thank you. But
other people, you can kind of let it slide. When it's your mum or your dad or someone that's close to you, it's kind of like, you should really know better.
Yeah. It's like with your sister though. Now I've got a sister, so it got to that point where it's like we used to give each other like £10 or something, and then it's like, but you give me £10 on your birthday, I give you £10 on my, and it's just like it cancels out. So it's just not in presents anymore. It's like I love you. Shut up.
Do you happen to have a gift receipt? Like I'm happy to take that gift receipt.
There's nothing worse when you get a gift and they don't give you the receipt.
Yeah, that's true.
I got given a pair of shoes the other day, and I'm like, oh, great, I love shoes. Open the box and I'm like, I'm never going to wear these shoes.
Ever.
If I've got a receipt, I can go and change them. I look through everywhere in the box. There's no receipt.
That's why eBay was invented. Stick them on eBay, man.
It was from someone I work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they give you the wrong size. I just got to, I was like, if it's perfect.
That's what you should have said. You should have just lied and said they gave you the wrong size. You need that Yongsi.
That's true.
With the quickness.
It's kind of, I thought it was like these days, a lot of people just give you the receipt and say, if you don't like it, just change it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have somebody just buy me food also. That's nice. instead of
Depends.
just like a present.
In England, the shoes might have been bought off the back of a truck, and then it's like you've got no receipt for a reason. They're teethed, you know, just enjoy.
If it was
Just
an actor,
enjoy.
though, if it was an actor that you work with, they maybe got those shoes for free. And they were just trying to give them off to you because they suck.
Yeah, it's like a secondary present.
Yeah, dude. That's your
happens.
sponsorship. Yeah.
I had to have a look, and they're actually on sale. They weren't a new release, so
Oh, no.
I'm going to save them for a rainy day.
Who gave
Yeah.
them to you?
Someone I work with.
Shame on you.
I don't want to.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. No names. Just
But I feel like the
Someone
guy
I work
definitely knows if he once he listens to
mate,
this
of
podcast.
course.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the name. I don't want to drop any names. but-
Ungrateful motherfucker.
I think a lot of the people Sam works with don't understand the English.
I'm still not going to
Hey
name
Dan,
them.
can we have a Korean caption for this episode, for this particular
Yeah,
conversation?
we Just need this segment.
Just, this little bit.
Just for this segment.
It's going out as we speak right now. They probably won't watch the podcast. I'm fine.
Yeah, they fly,
Flies.
right?
Time really flies.
That's why Post Malone and Joe Rogan did like 4.5 hours the other day.
That's the fact that they got together on a podcast alone surprised me.
Yeah. The podcast the next day was David, what is it? David Cho? Not David Cho.
David Choi?
No, the guy who bought the artist who bought shares in Facebook for painting the mural.
Yeah, that's
The dope-ass Korean
I'm
American
pretty
guy.
sure that's David Cho, isn't it?
He's very famous. I
Yeah.
forget his name.
Yo, that podcast, that's maybe my favorite podcast he's ever done. It is David Cho, right? I feel.
Yeah,
But then the chef's name is that too. What's the chef's name?
David.
Chung. Okay. Yeah, David Cho. Man, you guys should watch that podcast. It's so good.
I feel like we should have another episode with like, a bunch of alcohol.
Yeah.
And we could aim for 4. But I feel like we could aim for 4 hours.
You know, they like celebrate the 1,000th episode on some of them. Let's celebrate
Let's
separate.
Separate that
Let's
out.
celebrate
No alcohol.
the 20th episode with like a drink champs vibe.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be fun. Let's do some games and stuff.
He hasn't
Take
had a
shots.
beer. He hasn't had a drink all year.
Yeah, you lost a ton of weight too. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's something that's fucking.
I'm still working on losing a bit more weight.
Well, how are you doing it? How are you making?
Well, hurry the fuck up so we can have a beer.
diet. It's mainly diet.
Mainly
So
diet.
Not putting
Yeah.
crap into
No,
your
because
body.
my mom used to work at the bookstore in Gwanghwamun, and so Sam and his wife and the kids used to
yeah,
go buy books.
Oh, cool.
And, my mom would talk to them and stuff. And so so my mom always wanted to have like dinner with the kids too, because my mom's a big fan.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
She'd go and knock on their door. That's how she knows where you live. Because she'd be like, oh,
That's
they
probably
live
my
there.
mom. She's like, I brought some books. Come here, Billy.
I tell you, if it was
You
your
could
mum,
be
it'd be fine.
G3. G3, G4.
That's crazy.
Sam's looking quite worried, actually.
No,
He's
but
like,
yeah.
oh, dear.
So I was talking to Sam and Kakao. I was like, hey, we should grab dinner. And he was like, I still got to lose like 14 kilograms. I was like, damn, that's respect.
Yeah, it's
14.
it's tough, man. It's
Yeah.
tough, but it's about the long fight.
Yeah.
You got to get that. I mean,
I
you
only
went
see-
through it recently,
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
I went through like an 8-week program for.
and you
the
got
gym.
cut with that.
Yeah, I had to. I lost around 16 kilograms in 8 weeks, and I had to work out 3 hours a day, eating just what do you call it? 닭가슴살, chicken
Yeah.
breasts,
Chicken breast.
and just a bunch of salads. Man, it was brutal because I love. I'm a whale. Like I love alcohol, so I'm like looking up dietary nutrition facts about makgeolli.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, so tequila has no carbs. Okay.
It was
I
mainly
like,
the
hey,
sugar,
vodka,
isn't it?
vodka helps
Vodka
you lose
soda.
weight. Yeah.
Yeah, vodka soda. And I also find that you're so dehydrated if you drink enough that you wake up cut as
exactly.
fuck.
Yeah, for sure. And even makgeolli, like it's a what's yusangyun in English?
Yeah.
Fermentation or
Probiotics.
probiotics. I was like, all right, so this will help me, shit better. So I guess this works, but no, it
Also,
doesn't.
if you have gout, I don't know
gout,
if anyone's
yeah.
got gout,
No,
but
I don't have
you
gout.
do.
if you got the tongpung,
I have-
you can drink all the makgeolli you
I
want.
had a gut, so I had to stay away
What-
from that.
Have you maintained your weight since then?
Well, so I went to LA and there was nothing, like there was no gym or anything. So I did gain a little belly fat over there, but I came to Yangyang and just, that pull up helped me.
Yeah.
So I've been maintaining.
So you're kind of like backwards and forwards, maybe 1 or 2 kilos.
Yeah, 1 or 2 kilos. So the fattest I was at 78 kilograms. I was overweight. And then I went to 62 and now I think I'm around 64, which is better than, like, I don't want to be too scrawny, you know what I mean? So,
Damn.
yeah.
I'm like 78 right now.
Oh man,
Oh,
fatty.
Yeah.
It's all muscle. It's all muscle. Baby.
Wow.
I don't feel that fat.
Shots fired.
78 isn't that, isn't that
78
bad?
isn't that bad. I mean, but that's the thing. Like you look toned, but for
Yeah.
me, like I drank so much that for the time in Korea, like I just looked like swollen and
Like
just
a
like
pad.
bloated. Yeah, exactly. So. And like I gained a lot of weight on my face, and like especially like when you're on TV, it makes you like 10 pounds heavier. So one day I looked at myself and I just didn't like who I became because I don't like the person that I was. One of the biggest reasons why I wanted to lose weight is because I wanted to make a routine and pattern for myself. Because I feel like at the age I'm at right now, something that I do right now, this habit that I make right now will last, till I die.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to set that goal in my head and just be a healthy guy for the rest of my life. So
That's what it's about. You're uncomfortable. And I
Yeah.
think that's the important part.
Exactly.
Like people go through life where they're comfortable, but they'll find a stage in life where they're like, I'm uncomfortable with the lifestyle I'm having nowadays.
yeah,
And it could be the food you're eating. It could be the lack of exercise. It could be drinking too
Yeah.
much.
It could be cigarettes.
And
yeah.
it could be anything. And like for me, it was like having kids now. I need to start focusing on that.
Because you got to
That's
bench
good.
press him and shit.
Like I'm picking them up every day, and they're
yeah,
like
man.
all over they're jumping all over me, and it's like, okay, yeah. Now I'm starting to notice how uncomfortable I am. And like you said, it's a lifestyle. You're changing your lifestyle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So yeah, I think obviously for everyone has a different take on that and what's
Yeah.
comfortable and what's uncomfortable for them. So
yeah. You just gotta find the right balance because just because like I want to be fit, I'm not gonna go out, compete for like bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna eat what I want.
Or you're
but-
not going to stop drinking. That's how I'm
Exactly,
looking at it.
yeah.
I'm,
No
I'm
chance.
working out so I can drink as much as I want.
Exactly, because I'm trying to be
Eat
happy
what I want.
too.
Yeah.
What's the point of being, like being so depressed about your, about your diet if you can't be happy? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
yeah, if you're getting stressed out from your weight loss or your diet,
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
going to be beneficial either.
exactly, definitely.
That's one of the best things about living in Korea, though. You can go out and eat and drink and still have like healthy ass stuff to eat.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
if you go drink soju and have dak hanmari, you don't have to feel that guilty
yeah,
about
yeah,
it, even
for
if you
sure.
are trying to like be on a diet.
Yeah, but the bad thing about
He tells
Mr. Positivity over here.
He tells himself.
Everything turns everything into something so positive.
Yeah.
But the bad thing about Korea is that it's 24 hours. So
Yeah.
I end up drinking soju at 5 a.m. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
And then going to bed on a full stomach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's the
bad.
one.
That's why
That's
I
the
like
one thing that I'm really trying to stop. I think that's
Eating
the
late.
only reason, that I like.
eating late. That's
eating
one
late.
of the worst things. Yeah. That's even in the States. I like the States because you could only drink for so long in
Yeah.
the States.
They
Yeah.
kick your ass
Cut off
out.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Last call too. I'm like, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of last calls, I think it's about time for our last call here.
That was
Smooth.
smooth. Nice segue.
I was waiting for the right segue.
For those of you who doubted Sam's ability to speak English,
Yeah, it's last call for alcohol right here, right now. I want to thank DJ Fenner and G2
Thank
for
you.
joining us
Thanks for
again.
coming,
Thank you
y'all.
for
For
having us,
sure. Yeah. Call me anytime. I like this.
yeah, it's so
Yeah.
fun, man.
It's always a breath of fresh air of just speaking English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime. Welcome back. As long as you can make the trip out from
For sure. I got you.
Yeah,
I
you
got
guys
you
come
all.
back.
Appreciate it.
Everybody, please leave a comment and all that, right?
Yeah, review as well.
Yo, is that
Review
your
as
kid?
well.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
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 Look at
Show
that.
him-
Good
show him
dad.
the
World's
screen.
best dad.
The screen is cute as a button.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mate.
There we go.
Good dad. there. Right
Good
there.
dad. Father of the year.
These fans all made all of this for us, so I appreciate all the
Nice.
fans.
That's G-Sam and G-Sam.
All right, so my album came out on the 17th. Everybody go check it out. This is my third album, which I'm very proud of. I feel like a lot of fans will like it. And it's 9 tracks. There's a lot of great features on it. You can check me out at Instagram at G2's Life. Pretty easy. Just don't send me any scams.
And no stalkers. Yeah. Fenner official. No
Or at least-
stalkers. Done.
Or at least don't use Yahoo or AOL to trick me because that's
Fender official, no
Stalkers.
stop.
That's a good tagline, man. Hashtag that.
that
Come
could
on.
be your whole
I like
profile.
nice.
That,
Nice.
that could be your image.
Guys, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to find us on Instagram and Twitter at Dive Studio, at The Dive Studios, youtube.com at Dive Pods. And yeah, Send us a review. Listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Guys,
Show,
thanks
man.
again.
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
All right.
Come back
Yeah.
soon.
Everybody be safe.
See y'all.
Peace.
Bye. Hope you enjoyed the clip. If you did, listen to the full episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
And make sure to subscribe to this channel, Dive Studios, and put those notifications on. Hit that bell. Whoop, whoop, whoop.